Oh no, not Jimmy. Jimmy Kimmel. The curse keeps following him around as now he has tattled to mommy and daddy that mean old Aaron Rodgers and Pat McAfee made a joke at his expense. Never mind the fact that Jimmy Kimmel was happy to tell America that if you were unjabbed that you shouldn't get ICU beds. Never mind that Jimmy Kimmel gets up in front of America and has peddled lie after lie after lie. He actually went, it appears, to mommy and daddy at Disney and demanded and forced Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers to issue a apology. Of course, this has backfired because as the files dropped yesterday, his name was photoshopped into the list numerously as it went viral on Twitter because Jimmy Kimmel is just an absolute piece of garbage in every conceivable way. I mean, it's just not even it's not even debatable. Let's get into it, by the way. Hey, for 2024, I'm trying to do less ads and I'm trying to work harder at expanding. So right now I have a bunch of $70 Amazon gift cards left over from the November promotion. So I want to give them all away today or tomorrow. So there's going to be a link in the description. All you have to do, and if you're already following, you qualify the same way. There'll be a link in the description. If you follow me on Instagram, follow my Facebook, and leave a like, share a post. It tells you everything to do. So follow my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I know you probably don't use TikTok, but I'm still trying to save some of those Gen Z weirdos. Each thing will give you an entry, and I'll pick a bunch of winners tomorrow. Super easy. Link in the description. Now, Jimmy Kimmel, remember, says the unjabbed people shouldn't get ICU beds. Well, now Pat McAfee has been forced to apologize, and the media still is not happy about it. You see this? Pat McAfee offers a weak apology for Aaron Rodgers' Jeffrey's List claim. Look, it's important to lay out who writes the checks here. ESPN, where Pat McAfee's show is a Disney program. Jimmy Kimmel is on ABC or NBC or whatever, is also a Disney program. So they have the same bosses. So I think it's a pretty hilarious coincidence that, he's issuing this apology. Now, of course, this was Jimmy's meltdown. Dear a-hole, for the record, I have not met, flown with, or visited or had any contact whatsoever with Jeffrey, nor will you find my name on any list, which you could find it on a list hilariously all over Twitter last night. The thing backfired, as it always does with these idiots. Then it's clearly phony nonsense by soft-brained wackos like yourself. By the way, Jimmy Kimmel has fired the first multiple salvos at Aaron Rodgers. Just so we're clear, I don't believe Aaron Rodgers had ever had anything to say about Jimmy Kimmel until Jimmy Kimmel called him all sorts of things in his monologues and made fun of him for not being jabbed, even though, well, it looks like it's worked out just fine for him and things of that nature. So then he threatens a lawsuit like a real titty baby, okay? Again, remember, Jimmy Kimmel gets up on stage in front of the country and pushes big pharma propaganda and Democrat lies for a living. This is a guy that pushed the debunked Russiagate stuff. This is a guy that believes the P-tapes existed. This is a guy that has endlessly lied about people he disagrees with politically for a career. This is a guy that ruined the life of a dentist for sport hunting. Look, you can feel a certain way about people, from America flying off to the Sahara or the whatever and taking a lion or an elephant or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that is the only thing injecting cash into those nations. The nations themselves that sell these type of hunts to, Westerners rely on that money. Jimmy Kimmel, of course, doesn't bother to do an ounce of research and ruin that man's life by putting his face all over the internet and saying he was a terrible person or all over TV. Okay, so Jimmy Kimmel is a certified piece of garbage. All right. Now, ESPN host Pat McAfee was forced to apologize after the NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers appeared on his show and baselessly implied the late night talk show host Kimmel had been linked to Jeffrey. But he was! What do you mean baselessly, bro? He's best friends with his chef. He opened a business with his chef. That's not 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever. That's 1 degree. That's 1 degree. Now, look, I'm not going to say just because these things, that means that he was on the island or that he was participating in anything. That's not what I'm saying. But that's not what Aaron Rodgers was saying either. He simply said that certain people were concerned about the list coming out, which it's pretty obvious that he was because of his insane overreaction. I mean, it was at best a tacit implication, at worst. And it was definitely just a joke, right? A shot at the guy that has taken multiple jabs at Aaron Rodgers. And of course, what Aaron Rodgers said was, there's a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, really hoping that list doesn't come out, Rodgers said, who added, if that list comes out, I'll definitely be popping a bottle. Now, again, at no point did he say that he's on that list. He just said he doesn't want it to come out, which I don't doubt. I believe that a lot of Jimmy Kimmel's good friends, bosses, colleagues, cohorts, whatever you want to call them, were on that island and did participate in those things. That's my belief. I can't prove that because our government won't release the files. Make no mistake about it. It is also my belief that the FBI has all of the Jeffries tapes, all of the actual names, and they're the ones, just my opinion, I don't know this, that they're the ones who are holding it for blackmail purposes now. That's probably what it was all about, in my opinion. They saw that he had this great trove of blackmail. Maybe they were working together. I don't know. I'm not saying that that's true. These are just my beliefs. Perhaps they were working together to honeypot some of the world's most powerful people. And now that he's out, and then the FBI maybe thought, hey, he's in the way. So now let's, take the evidence for ourselves. That's just a wild speculation. Okay, it's just wild speculation. Just like some people are speculating, it's awfully convenient that there was an incident that happened this morning in an Ohio school just 12 hours after the release of the files. That there's no proof of that. There's nothing to correlate the two. It's just we live in a world of coincidences, apparently. Conservatives continue to sow the conspiracy theories while conveniently ignoring Donald Trump's well-known ties, except MSNBC. I actually have this in a different video, but I will show you that, yes, guess what? The biggest losers in all this is the mainstream media, because in that release, in that trove of files, Donald Trump was actually exonerated. Mentions of President Trump exonerated him from any wrongdoing and say he did not visit the island or his home. Here's the files. Donald Trump asking if he had seen them. No. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. I mean, did you ever see Donald Trump at his home? No. On his island? No. In New Mexico? No. In New York? No. Right? That's so it's like, what are you going to do now, libs? Oh yeah, nope. Some people said, this guy said, so they plan an event in Iowa. I mean, I swear, I hope that's not true. Right? There is no bigger loser in this than the mainstream media and their continued implication that Donald Trump had some sort of ties to. Oops. Guess that didn't work out for you. So then McAfee, who, by the way, owes nobody an apology. It was just his show, by the way. Does Jimmy Kimmel have to go and apologize for things people say on his show? Of course not. He's just the platform. Why on earth Pat McAfee got forced to apologize is insane. So he said in a video, McAfee, former NFL punter, who's one of ESPN's highest paid employees, issued a rather nonchalant apology, which of course they aren't upset about, for being part of the controversy his show literally started. It's not like it was a scripted moment. Aaron Rodgers came on and was all loosey-goosey and said what he said, okay? And Pat McAfee doesn't owe anybody any apology for that. The same way as if I had somebody on a live stream and they said something heinous that I disagreed with, I don't have to issue an apology for that. He tried to downplay Rodgers' remarks as a joke. They were a joke. And into, quote, obviously very serious allegation, NBC News has reached out to Rodgers and Kimmel for comment. I can see exactly why Jimmy felt the way he felt, especially with his position, McAfee said, but I think Aaron was just trying to talk-ish. So now did it go too far? I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel certainly said that was the case. McAfee's whole shtick is seemingly meant to be about juvenile chaos, but I think the act wears thin. Yeah, that's why he's the most popular show. First, his show is so popular on his own that literally everybody's been trying to buy him now until ESPN did. And I won't be surprised if ESPN cuts ties with him, and it'll only make Pat McAfee far more popular than he is now. Here's another reality. ESPN is a network that right-wingers have accused of being, quote, too woke. Remember, literally yesterday, I reported on an ESPN reporter completely fabricating a lie that he suffered racial profiling and getting absolutely destroyed by the person he accused. Remember that? Remember that moron that used to work there that now works for the Atlantic and is just a race grifter? Remember everyone on this show, Max Kellerman, absolute, BLM NPC bot. I mean, the network is full of people that would rather be talking politics than sports, and that's why no one's watching it anymore. And then you said Pro Football League, it opens a big can of worms for ESPN. Well, it's because they both work for the same person. But I mean, I can't imagine. People keep ignoring. Again, Jimmy Kimmel's longtime friend was Jeffrey's personal chef. In 2019, Lang claimed his role in Jeffrey's life was, quote, limited to meal prep, and claimed he had no idea of his depraved behavior. Baloney. Then, in court documents, Virginia Roberts Guffrey, however, claims that the chef did know exactly what was going on and said he served food and drinks to underage people. Oops. Oops, Jimmy. Jimmy, no. Jimmy, no. Quote, you have so much knowledge of the various people on these planes and his homes and anywhere you would have been with him. You truly can't say you didn't know or can't remember, Guffrey said in a letter to Lang. Guffrey said that Lang had seen her unclothed, but she respected him. He used to talk to me like I was a person, even if I was standing unclothed in front of him. Why would you ever be doing that? He wouldn't be there ogling me. He wouldn't be looking directly at my face, or he would be looking directly at my face, and we had wonderful moments together. Doesn't sound wonderful. Uh-oh, you're about to make Jimmy have another meltdown today. Oops! Another bombshell, Jimmy. I thought he had nothing to... He didn't know anything about it. He couldn't possibly have known. Oh, my God. Well, looks like that was a lie. Hey, take a moment to follow the link in the description down below. It's a bit.ly link. And all you have to do is be following me on Instagram, like and follow the Facebook page, share a post, and do the same. It's like, share on Facebook, Instagram. If you use TikTok, do that too. I'm working with a new agency this year that's trying to help me reach and save the Zoomers. And the only way I can do that is with short form content and a better social presence. So that's a big investment for me in 2024. And I would really, really appreciate if you use those platforms that you do that. And I'll be giving away some gift cards in order to thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.